This is Puppets by Arlie. I'm Arlie, and this is how to string a trick juggling marionette. So this is my juggler cat marionette here. Right now I have a double airplane control for it, except the hands and the balls will be on this special bar that gets hooked onto a screw eye that I kind of opened up to make a hook. And then underneath, where your normal running hand string would go on a normal double airplane control, I have two screw eyes, and I'm going to do a specialty string, one with the toe. I have a screw eye on the toe, and also the other I have a screw eye on the top of the head. And right now I've got the tail string and the shoulder strings and the head and the legs all strung. So today we're just going to do the arms and the trick strings and the balls. And here are my juggling balls. They're supposed to be balls of yarn because he's a cat and cats play with yarn. And I took plastic balls, wrapped them in yarn, and then with barge I glued a drinking straw through them so that they would be easier to string, and then put some white glue on it to try to keep it from fraying. And lately I've been using this deep sea fishing line, Hercules. This is a 30-pound fishing line, although it's a little thin for my taste, so I will probably buy 50, 60, 70 pound for my next round. And I have a yarn bobbin here for threading. At the end of my arm rod here, you'll be able to thread the string through two holes on either side. And then I have put holes in the hands so that you can tie the knot on the top. So there are two holes in these little wooden hands, and the string will go through and tie to the top. So hopefully the ball of yarn will fall on the correct side of his hands. All right, let's get stringing. So here's my juggler cat. So far, I've got shoulders strung, tail string, and I've got the feet strung on. Next is to start stringing the yarn balls, or the juggling balls, onto this external arm bar. I have 4 pieces of fishing line here. They're about two yards each, but depending on your height, you may choose to have a different length. What we'll do first is we'll string so that the puppet is holding 2 balls on one hand, and then there will be a third ball that can transfer from hand to hand. The hands will not be one long running hand string. Each hand will have a separate string tied to each end of this juggling bar. So first things first, tie to each hand your string. You want the ball to sit on the top of his hand, so you're going to string from the side of the hand that you want the ball to sit on and back through again, and tie the knot facing up on the side you want the ball to land on. So there it is, tied through, and do that on both sides. There's my knot on the other side going all the way through the hand, so that when the string is pulled, he's going to catch the ball with the correct side of the palm of the hand. Next, one string will go through one ball, the other string will go through the other ball, and then both strings will make an X through the third ball, which will be able to go from side to side. Take the ball that you want on your first hand, because he's got a red sleeve here. I'm going to do a blue ball, and I thread my string through the drinking straw that I've rigged in, and just to keep it straight, I like to use a dog clip on the string while stringing so it doesn't come undone. I think I'll do since he's got a blue sleeve on this side, do the red yarn ball. So now I have one ball, juggling ball strung to one hand and one to the other hand. So now your third ball will go through both strings. So take both strings together, string them through the third ball. Now we have like a little pyramid of yarn balls here. Next step is to tie them onto our juggling rod. So my right-handed string on him that's attached to his right hand will go up through this yellow ball, and then it'll attach to the right side of this juggling bar. So even though our strings are together, figure out which string is to his right hand, and it is this one. And string it through. And before we tie it, clip it on with the dog clip. And then that means our other side is his left side. Put that through the hole. Now we want to make them taut enough so that when your puppet is standing on the ground, the balls are kind of at a resting, holding place. Not totally dropping down, ruining the illusion that he's holding these juggling balls. Take your puppet, put it to the ground where the feet touch the ground. So I usually just do the first part of the knot and clip it closed. Same thing the other side. Take it so that he's standing on the ground and pull on the string until he's kind of holding it up. And so now we can see a little bit if this appears to be the right length, and hook it up so that when you're doing toggle walking, that appears to be pretty good. It feels relatively even to me. And see, as you twist from side to side, that'll change what ball is on top. All right, so I'm going to tie these down, and I usually do about 7 granny knots. I know there's haters out there on the YouTube who say use a square knot, but you know what? I say if you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. And then we'll put some Duco glue on these afterwards, and then that will hold them forever. Then hopefully when I'm dead and gone, somebody will sell this for a lot of money. Okay, now with this juggling rod, I can tilt it from side to side, and that will make it shift from hand to hand. And then you can do a flick, and that will give the illusion of throwing and catching. All right, the next thing is we're going to do a trick string on this screw eye that's on his foot, and another trick string to a screw eye that's on the top of his head. So he'll be able to catch all 3 balls on his head and his foot. So let's start with the foot first. Tie it on. I got his little foot here. Then I can go through the juggling balls, each one at a time, and whatever order I string them through will be what order they stack up on his foot. And this is going to be a long, loose string because we don't want it to behave unless we pull on it and activate it. A trick string. I find doing the drinking straws through these juggling balls helps with the threading. Otherwise, you can get a really long needle for stringing any type of juggling balls. I've seen people use like Christmas ornament type of things or other types of props. Okay, so now when I pull this specialty string, he kicks his foot and he holds all of the balls on his foot. So since I have two screw eyes on the underside, I'm going to tie it with a lot of slack on my right screw eye, simply because my trick string is to his right leg. So the last trick string, I have a screw eye on the head here, and that'll be so he can stack the juggling balls on his head. And now with the foot string, I did it so that the balls go red on the bottom, then blue, then yellow. I think it'll be easy if I keep that order. And I'll go through the bottom of one. All right, let's see if it works. And all right. And make this one nice and loose because this is a trick string that you don't want to pull on anything else unless you activate it. Go ahead and cut off the excess. And we are strung. And so, when you come out on stage, you can pull one or the other. And our foot, and then into that's how to string a trick juggling marionette. Thanks for watching. Hard time coming down. Okay, well. Maybe that'll have to be saved for the end of the act. Okay, well, we may need some finesse.